All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's live stream. Hey, Nat. Hey, Theo.
Hello.
Hello.
Alrighty, so we tonight are actually very, very excited to speak with our special guest Theo, Roto Paint Artist. But for tonight, before we kick off things, I will just say to everyone, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. Secondly, if you have any questions for Nat or myself or Theo, our special guest, please feel free to pop them in chat as we go along, and we'll do our best to get them answered. But with that said, I might pass over to Nat, and let's jump straight into it because I'm excited to hear from Theo.
Let's jump in. So yeah, my name is Nat. I'm the Melbourne Events Officer. Thank you so much, Theo, for agreeing to do this live stream with us. We're super excited. I know I am, being a massive film buff and seeing some of your projects. I am super excited. But can you tell everyone else that doesn't know a lot about you, a bit about yourself?
Yeah, no worries. I started at AIE in 2018, and then I graduated end of 2019. I graduated, and then from then on, I started working on music videos and mostly like Tones and I.
Just
And
name dropping casually. Just not a
no,
massive group. No, that's
no,
incredible.
Yeah, so during COVID, there was a lot of music videos and stuff, and then eventually I went on to work at Method, and then it switched on to Framestore. So and now I'm working at Framestore, and yeah, it's been quite a
Whirlwind?
journey. Yeah,
Yeah.
journey.
What
Yeah.
would you say, like, would
Yep.
Tones and I be like your first like major project working on? Would you
Yeah,
say?
so so I worked for this company called Visible Studios, and
Yep.
the way I found out about it was actually through Tonko because we had like a group chat, and Tonko was like, "Hey, oh, actually, was it? I'm trying to find out. I think it was from Tonko, yeah." And then he said,
Anyone that's
yeah,
sorry, just quickly, if anyone doesn't know that Tonko was one of the 3D animation and VFX trainers on Melbourne campus.
yeah.
So yeah, super cool. Yep, keep going.
And then pretty much got in touch with someone called Timothy Whiting, and from then on started working on a bunch of like music videos. Mostly, I'll do an introduction later on Rotopaint, but like yeah, just mostly removing things, compositing, and rotoing as well. So yeah, but it was a very good start into the VFX industry. I would say, like and it gave me a lot of experience before going into the feature films and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's incredible. So did Tonko reach out during your course at AIE or was it afterwards as well?
Tonko was constantly in contact like with us after AIE,
Yep.
through like means of like group chats and Facebook groups and stuff like that, which was like immensely helpful. And you can always like also just like go back to your teachers and like see how things are going. So you had like this kind of like personal touch with your teachers.
That's
Um,
incredible.
yeah, so yeah, like a huge like I would say like a huge part of like getting into the industry was just like contacts and stuff like having Tonka that was there getting
Amazing.
let me a job at this VFX no they're not VFX here, they're more like I don't know, I don't want to butcher the name, but they're like
Yeah, no, all good.
yeah.
But even when we were setting up this live stream and well Kelsey was kind enough to be able to pass me along your contact. She's also another 3D animation and VFX trainer. But when I was looking through your bio and even what you sent through, my jaw was dropped the entire time because the amount of projects that you worked on, like let me just bring it up again, like because it's so impressive. So like Lyle, Crocodile, Spiderhead as
Yeah.
well. Then they're both 2022. And like so many tones and I musical videos. I'm just like, wow, while. And when I was like writing up, like adding some finishing touches in the bio, and then you're like, you're a bit too like it humbled me, or it was like it was a bit too flashy. I'm just like, no way, 'cause
Yeah,
that's what I was actually thinking. I'm like, this guy is so cool, because it's incredible what you've worked on already. And so you
yeah.
graduated from AIE 2019, was that right?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I mean, technically you finish at the end of 2019, and then the following year you actually graduate. So,
yeah,
like around February, yeah. It was just
yeah,
like before COVID hit as well, which was like, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And so you've already touched on a little bit about what Roto Paint Artist is.
yeah,
Um, so can you go into a bit more detail? So it's like removing things and then like
yeah,
editing, like yeah, yeah.
yeah. So,
I noticed as well in your show reels too, like there was like a Star Wars scene. I think that was probably the one that I realized so much about what roto artists do. Would you say it
yeah.
involves compositing as well?
So the best way to explain is that roto paint is like, um, you essentially, roto is like one part, and then paint is another part. So roto, you're pretty much like tracing people or objects that usually maybe a CG element will go in front of, oh, behind. I'm sorry. So um, so just
Oh, that makes
imagine
sense.
like maybe there's like a table, right? And then you've got like something that's CG. Sorry, I'm trying to show always like the thing.
Yeah.
So you've got like a table there, and then you've got the CG that's over here, and so therefore you've got to roto what's there in order for the CG to go behind off. Um,
Yep.
and it's always in demand,
Yep.
roto. And paint is the whole process of like moving things off shots, and there's a lot of like for instance when things are being shot on set, there's a lot of objects in the background that need removing. For instance, wires, tracking markers, um, objects, all kinds of things. It's like even
Yeah.
like lights as well. Like yeah, I
Be
lots
massive.
of things need removing. Yeah, and it's a
Yeah.
very challenging job, like extremely challenging job. Like in my team, there's lots of pros that are like I'm so flabbergasted how they like remove things. It's crazy.
Right. And then like, but like when you eventually get to that point where you feel like it's so polished and it's so perfect and you remove what you wanted to and it looks amazing, like
Yeah,
at least you're able to say like, I did that. I finally got there. So that would be an incredible
yeah,
achievement. And like you graduated right before COVID. How lucky is that? At least you got to have all that hands-on experience. But
yeah.
as well, what a handy like skill to have, being able to take that through with you, because obviously times have changed so much, but this kind of field is like indispensable, because even with working from home and everything, you're able to take these skills with you. Is that right, would you say?
Um. So. So. Sorry. So. Where's. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm just
Yeah.
talking about how these skills are so amazing to be able to take with you through like times changing. So like with COVID
Yeah.
times, it obviously changed a lot with the dynamics of like working from home. There's not a
Mm,
lot of like with studio dynamics, it has changed a bit as well. But at least with
mm,
being a roto paint artist, you can do a lot of that from home, and you can just expand on different fields as well, because you don't need to
yeah.
actually be present. Is that right? Would you
Mm,
say?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like. It's. I think VFX in general is very dynamic. Like you can work from home, which is really really good.
Yeah.
It's. I think now studios are also looking to the hybrid model, because
Yeah.
it's really like I think everyone really likes working from home, but also it's really important to come to the studio and like teach like
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Um, so I think like for instance, with me when I was a junior that came into Framestore, it was really important to just like come to the studio and be taught by someone who's super skilled. At what they do. And I think that's why now studios are introducing like a hybrid model so that people can get that balance to, be with their kids, for instance, whilst working in VFX.
Yeah.
And, you know, Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
But
At
yeah.
least you don't have that restraint, you know, you're not forced to be present. Like, God
Mm,
forbid, you know, lockdown happened again, which I don't think it will, but if it did, at least you would know that your role is still vital in this industry. So it's really cool.
mm,
We might
mm.
just bring up an example of some Roto Paint artists in your show reels. Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah.
Let's
That
have a
was.
little look see. Yeah, this one got me really good. So, like, removing those tattoos, like, you would
Yeah.
not know at all they were ever there. That's incredible. I
I,
remember watching it for the
I
first
can
time and I
still
was
see the
just
mistakes, but
gobsmacked.
yeah.
What? Oh, wow. You're
Yeah.
so harsh on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so cool. And it's
Yeah. So
things that we're watching
that's
in.
compositing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. And yeah, it's things that we like take for granted, I guess, when we're watching movies. Like, I know I let myself get
Mm,
absorbed so much when watching a movie. I believe that it's real life, but it's people like
mm,
you know, making it happen and making it seem so realistic,
mm,
being able to absorb the viewer in the content.
mm. Yeah.
You're
Like
telling
when
me she
just.
wasn't actually floating? I don't believe it.
Yeah. This one's like removing wires.
Yeah, right.
A bit of keying as well. So that's keying is in compositing mostly.
Yes, we use
Um,
this image to promote this live stream as well. I was like, that's so cool. So it's
yeah,
cool to be able to see that you worked on that one. Yeah.
that was on
Oh,
a short film, I think, that I worked on. Yeah,
nice.
they basically needed
Yeah.
like images put onto a photograph. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
You're doing another one? Yeah.
yeah, I mean, on these show reels, you can see like how many times I've like made a new one and put it on LinkedIn, constantly updating it.
Maybe
Some of
you
them
can
made,
go to the bottom,
yeah,
Matt, when you can. And I think that's the most recent one. And that one to the right. Yeah. Yep. That one.
yeah. I found
Oh,
this
that's the
on
Star Wars
YouTube.
one. Yep.
Yeah. I found this on YouTube, like a behind the scenes, and I just said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna try and like comp it and roto it." Um,
That's so cool.
yeah.
So you
By the way,
enhanced
I didn't
this
work on Star
scene? Yeah.
Wars. Just saying. Yeah.
I wish that was true. Damn. But I mean, you worked on Lyle Crocodile, so that's enough said.
Yeah.
What was that like? Did you have any show reels about that, or can you give us some examples of some scenes that any viewers would have seen from the movie?
Um, I'm trying to be careful at the same time what I can say, but
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like for instance, there was a lot of tracking markers. There was some scenes. For instance, there will be actors that go in front of Lyle,
Yep.
or there was a moment like where an object was not supposed to be there because it didn't really correspond to the next scene, and so they wanted like that object to be removed so that it's like consistent with the next shot. If that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. No.
Um,
So cool.
yeah, I'm just trying to be careful what I can say,
Yeah,
even though it's
no,
public
and we don't
information.
want
But
you to get in any trouble.
yeah.
But like as a person that didn't really know a lot about Roto artists before we organized this live stream, I'm thoroughly impressed. I think it's such an amazing skill and role to be able to get involved with, and like your projects speak for themselves. But like take us back to the start. Like I know you graduated 2019, but what made you want to get into this field at all? Like when you were growing up, did anything inspire you? Like maybe a movie or something?
Yeah, I think so I'm 20, I think I'm 24 now. I think so.
Yeah.
And so I was interested in Avatar all the way back when I was 9 years old. That was my
Wait.
favorite movie in 2009. Yeah.
So at the Avatar. So just to get it straight, and for lack of better phrasing, but like the blue people.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. Because there's two different
That
avatars. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Amazing.
my dream like movie like at the time. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
And I think like eventually I was really into Lord of the Rings, and then I decided to go in New Zealand with my family, and then I heard apparently from this French tourist that there was Weta Cave in New Zealand, which apparently they worked on like Lord Rings and all the props and stuff. So then I went on to check Weta Cave, and they had a VFX showreel, and I was like, yeah, this is so cool. I want to work in this. Yeah.
Incredible.
So
So
yeah,
you a
and
massive movie buff as well?
yeah, big time, big time.
Yeah.
It- each time,
Yeah,
each
well,
time, yeah, each time after the cinema, I'm like with my girlfriend. We're always like, because she also works in VFX.
oh,
We're always,
incredible.
yeah, we're always like, like do a review. Oh, I'm always like, oh, how would you rate this movie and stuff, and then how would you rate the VFX and stuff. It's yeah. Recently,
100%.
yeah, we watched Dune Part 2 recently. It was so awesome.
I was
Like,
about to ask you that, Theo. Get
yeah.
out of my head. You're psychic. But what did you think of Doom Part 2?
Yeah, it was so cool. I think it's my favorite franchise so far. I think Lord of the Rings is one of my favorite.
Yes.
But Dune
Yes.
Part 2 was, yeah, it's up there. I wish I worked on it, but yeah.
I know. I couldn't agree more. I think it's so inspiring. And I'm not in the film industry. I just brag
Mm,
about the people that I meet.
mm,
Because I'm fortunate enough to meet them, like yourself.
yeah,
But the effects and everything in that movie is just wow, it's gobsmacking.
yeah,
And
it's
I don't want to
amazing.
give any spoilers away for anybody that wants to go watch it. Please do go watch it. But the worms and just like even the
Mm,
sand and I'm just like
mm,
how did they even dream that up, let alone actually do it? So
yeah,
very, very, very
yeah,
cool. Okay, so
yeah,
passion for movies is how you began. And what better
mm,
reason to be able to get into this field? You know, you want to be passionate about what you're going to be working with.
yeah,
So yeah, that's incredible.
yeah,
And like
and
with sorry, I keep cutting you off, Theo. You
no,
go.
all good. Sorry. I think also I just want to mention like Ted is also another one which I really enjoyed working on. That was like the best project we've ever worked
Ted.
on. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what made it the best project you've ever worked on? Tell us.
Um. Like I think like overall the tasks were a lot easier.
Yep.
uh.
Yep.
Also like VFX looks amazing. It sounds like I'm kind of ego inflating, because we work on it.
No. You
But
can afford to be more ego inflating.
I mean, we've worked on TED like so many times in the past, uh, and then like seeing all the praises like from the internet, like from well-known people going like, wow, like this looks so cool. How do you guys do this? It's just awesome. Like it was a really awesome movie to work on. It's like by far my favorite product that I've ever worked on. Yeah, I
But
mean,
you worked on Ted the movie?
no, the TV show.
The
Yeah,
TV
the
show.
one
Yeah, the
that
most
came out
recent
this
TV
year.
show in
Yeah,
2024.
yeah, yeah,
I saw some episodes of Ted as well. And yeah, it's one of those things that you forget that it's not real. That's how
yeah.
well done it was. So anyone that's watching this live stream tonight, if you are a fan of Ted 2024 or if you'll be meaning to check it out, go check it out and think Theo Touren, AIE alumni, worked on that project as well. That's very, very impressive. Well done, Theo.
Thank you. Thanks.
um what was your experience like with AIE when you were studying at AIE?
It, I think like as a guy who hated high school, AI was awesome. It was right up my alley. It was like what I was into the most. Um,
Yeah.
I I made a lot of good friends there, who I'm still in touch with even now. And um, and also like the fact that you get to work on a project, like for instance, at the time I worked on Coriolis Effect and Last Stand. Last Stand was Tonko's project. Coriolis Effect was Daryl Munton's project.
Yeah.
And there was also Heath as well. And those two projects were like amazing just to learn like the whole pipeline. It
Yeah.
gives you such a huge advantage like when entering into VFX, like just working on a short film and
Yeah.
knowing all the different process is such a massive advantage. And also you get to add these onto your showreel. And I know plenty of people who after doing these projects they went on to get jobs afterwards,
Oh,
immediately
incredible.
afterwards. Yeah. So
Love it. Well,
it's, yeah, I think my I actually got some notes over here, but the question was your favorite moment? Yeah, actually, so there was a moment where I composited a shot on Last Stand, and
Yep.
and it was like some cool like visual effects, like laser beams. It was like spaceships, and then I was like, and then I just looked at it. And I was like, man, I did that. That is so sick. Like I composited the shot, and I was like, that looks awesome. Like it looks something out of like I probably in my head back then I was like, dude, that looks something out of like Marvel or Star Wars, and I was like, this
I
looks awesome.
know.
Yeah, yeah.
Without trying to jump into too many times, because you've said so many interesting things. I'm like, I have to remember to say that. I have to remember to say that. But what you're just saying with The Last Stand, I've seen that movie play on the TVs on our campus like so many
Mm.
times. And when I saw one of your reels and that clip was in it, I was gobsmacked. I'm like, wait, I'm gonna be having live stream with one of the people that was made that project. I'm like, what the hell? So
Maybe.
yeah, very cool. So that's gonna be a celebrity. I wonder if we can get Matt to show that show reel. Do you remember which one? Yeah, I think it
If you look up
maybe.
different gravity films on YouTube, that's Tonko's channel. Uh,
Okay,
I think it's
have
called
a look
Different
there.
Gravity Films.
We're about to find out. Stay tuned. Alrighty.
Actually, it's even a vlog somewhere around there. You can see me when I'm really young. It's pretty funny.
Oh, fun. Let's do it. Let's see.
Yeah,
Oh, here we
Last
go. Last
Stand.
Stand. I can see it
Yeah.
there. Yep. Beautiful. That's the one.
I can't remember which shot I did.
I saw there was an actor that had like CGI over the top, and it was like a blue alien, and that was part of
Yeah.
the. Yeah,
No.
yeah. Was that
Mm.
you?
There was some that was me. I
Yep.
was doing. So I think the only rotor and compositing artist on this project
Yep.
was me and another friend of mine called Nick Campbell, who went on
Wow.
to work at Luma. Um,
That's so cool. And you can
yeah.
see
So
just from like the first few seconds of this, like these shots, that it's very polished. Like
yeah,
it's a cool project. And this was done while you were at AIE, is that right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's incredible. And like being able to build your portfolio while you're studying as well. And like you said, it took you on to these other career pathways, and your friend that worked on this project is actually working at Luma as well. So
Mm,
it shows you the career development that's available.
yeah,
Not to toot our own horn too many times, but
yeah,
it's a really, really cool project. Something that I wouldn't have thought students were working on. It
yeah.
looks like something that people who have been qualified for ages started working on together. So it's
Mm.
a very impressive project. Well done, Theo. Um,
Thank you.
but to touch on as well from what you were mentioning before, in terms of someone who hated high school, and can I just say, yeah, I don't know anyone who like really loves high school. I hated high school too. But I think it's so cool to be able to say that when you graduate high school and you go on to an area like AIE where everyone is kind of like-minded. They're all studying what they're passionate about, so you're
Mm.
able to connect more with that and be able to really pursue your passion as well. Like you
Yeah,
went straight into 3D animation VFX, and you're around the people who have the similar mind state and working on these really cool projects. So it's hard not to get really excited about that. So that's awesome that you brought that up. But yeah, high
yeah,
school, ugh, I'm never going back.
yeah, yeah. I mean, high school is
um,
like all right, but it's just like you get to work in VFX and AI, so that's cool.
I know.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Is it what you expected as well? The course?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like choosing a school was really difficult. I think like what I did was I was looking at like I did my research before going to a school. Like I looked up who at the time I wanted to be a modeler, so I looked
Yep.
up who used ZBrush and Maya.
Yep.
And I think like I know a lot of people who use Blender are gonna hate me, but like a lot of these other schools were using Blender, and unfortunately, Blender is not industry standard. So they use Maya in the industry or
Right.
like ZBrush. But like I don't know, but don't take my word for it. I'm just a Roto Paint artist. I use Nuke,
Yeah.
so yeah. So yeah, it's like I think it's really like like it was really important for me to see what softwares were being used, and then afterwards like I saw the experiences of the teachers and the experiences of the teachers. Like I think Tonko, he worked on like I think he worked on VFX for like I don't know. I'm sorry, Tonko, but for a museum, I think, or something like that. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And then I think Daryl Munton, he also worked at like Weta and stuff, which was like it adds so much more like how to say like uh credibility almost,
Yeah.
like without like these guys that you're getting to come over to work at AIE to teach have got experience of like the industry, so they know what they're talking about.
Very cool. So you were able to gain
uh
insight while you were studying AIE
yeah
to the teachers that have been in
and
the field. Yeah.
Tonko, so those were my teachers at the time. So Tonko and Daryl were extremely knowledgeable, and they had like a lot of like experience under their belt.
Yeah.
It was just learn a lot of stuff basically.
Well, that's what you want.
Yeah,
When you
yeah,
come to tertiary education, you want to learn a lot of stuff, but it sounds like this
mm,
stuff was very invaluable. So that's amazing to
mhm,
hear.
mm.
What is the day to day for you like now working in the industry? So what was your day like for today, for example?
For today, I woke up at 8, started work at 9, and
Yep.
then I had a break at 12. I had a meeting today as well,
Yep.
and all from home today.
Oh,
So
incredible.
yeah,
Yep.
so I think that's a massive advantage working in VFX is working from home.
Yep.
It's even better when you're in Melbourne working at like when you've got like Framestore about an hour away. Like so, I live like up north of Melbourne.
Yeah.
So so I can come into the office when I want to, as well. So on Fridays I
Amazing.
come to the office. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, having that
And
flexibility,
Tuesdays.
like I said before, I just think it's so cool that you have those skills that are able to be transferable to in person, as well as working from home. So I think that's really important for this day and age.
Yeah.
What makes a really good Roto Paint artist, in your opinion?
Yeah, I actually made notes for that.
Love it. We'll get the notes out. I won't throw you under the bus too much.
Yeah, so it's a tricky question. So I'm glad I got some notes, but I've written like an extremely knowledgeable and adaptable roto artist that has
Yep.
a lot of different techniques under their tool belt,
Yep.
and so like it sounds a bit like not very in depth, but like for instance, like as a roto paint artist, you got to be familiar with like planar tracking, 3D tracking using corner pins, and cloning, creating even like some, so you can create like shortcuts on Nuke and stuff like that. Sorry, Python.
It's funny
It
because I'm
always
noting
sounds
the
like
whole
a
time.
bunch of blab, but yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, yeah, I
um,
know that stuff. I don't know any of it.
yeah, yeah. For
But I mean,
anyone
that's
out
what you
there,
learn.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly right. That's what you
yeah,
learn when you get qualified. So that's
yeah,
what you went through as well. So that's yeah, very cool. Lots of big words, and
yeah.
I'm just like, wow, this is impressive. It's
Mm.
Matt.
Hello. I've jumped in. I've
Hello.
jumped in for a second, if that's right, because we do have a question that may or may not be able to be answered because of NDA, which is everyone loves NDA.
Love it.
But we had a question come through from Yo Mao asking Theo. I take it's probably not directed at Nat, you or I, sorry. But are there any upcoming projects that you are allowed to talk about?
No, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do not want Theo to get fired. Not on this
unless,
live stream.
yeah,
No.
unless you want a
Yeah.
lawsuit, no.
Nobody
Um,
wants that.
yeah.
But I
So
mean, like
Yeah.
the previous projects speak for themselves again, if I didn't mention
yeah.
it enough. But I mean, like, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Tones and I music videos. So they clearly loved all the projects you made from the get go.
Mm.
Am I
I
correct
wonder if we
in?
can show. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was going to say, am I correct? What I might do is I might just quickly flick up the Framestore website, get a little publicity in there for your
Wow.
team.
Yeah.
Theo,
Yeah.
but so Framestore, I guess, obviously because of NDAs, you're not allowed to talk about obviously upcoming work. But Yomao, if you head to Framestore and just I'd imagine follow them on socials and such, they'll probably be the first to kind of talk about some of the new projects as soon as they can. So that's probably a good way to stay up to date. But you can see some short clips here of their showreels, I guess, and everything they've worked on. So it's quite a vast collection. So
Oh my gosh, Paddington 2, enough said. And there's Lyle, Lyle, Barbie. I can't with this. I'm gonna pass out. Too cool, too cool. But is there any advice as well you'd like to give to people that are trying to get into 3D animation and VFX in the industry?
I've got a lot. And I've
Yeah,
put it on my
we love it.
phone.
Yep,
Let me just open up my notepad.
go for it. I'm sure they're all
So
very eager to hear.
I think I've got 6 tips, but I'm going to start off with this one.
The suspense is killing us. We should have a drum roll.
Yeah, I think like so using LinkedIn is really good.
Yep.
Like putting your showreel out there. I think it's really important to be noticed in this industry. So recruiters are always like looking to hire people. It's
Yep.
just like trying to be seen by someone, and I think the best way to be seen by someone is on LinkedIn. So and not just the recruiters, but also like artists from different places, supervisors as well, and I think that leads to my number one tip, which is like always ask for feedback and accept the feedback. So like
That's a good one.
yeah, obviously, I'm not saying like harass or be obnoxious and just constantly message someone. Just like have. I think part of this job is also like communicating, talking to people and stuff is really important. Like being learning to be familiar with people and just chatting and saying, hey. I love your work. I saw that you guys worked on, let's say, Ant-Man, and it looks really cool. I've also looked. I saw your showreel online. Oh, can you please? I'd love to be a Roto Paint artist. Can you please like give me feedback? Like for my
Yeah.
showreel, if you get the time, and then also emphasize that it's all good if you don't, like if they don't look at your showreel. Because most
Yep.
of the time, like I've messaged a lot of people before I went on to working in feature films, and I've been probably ignored like 2 or 3 times. Like it's just like happens, and people are extremely busy like in the industry. So yeah, if you get a
That's
message,
great advice. Don't take it to heart. Like keep
yeah,
going. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Such little things, but they make such a difference, especially with
yeah,
LinkedIn being a digital resume these days. So definitely update it. Look at that. That's why I was so impressed by you as well before we met because of your LinkedIn. So
mm,
very, very cool tips.
yeah.
We've got another one, Nat. Another question, if I can pop in. So this one comes
Yes.
from the Bearded Chef from YouTube.
I
So
love it already.
shout out to the Bearded Chef. Theo, how do you find motivation to work from home? Bearded Chef finds too many distractions, even though he's not in the industry, just to do day-to-day tasks. So how do you stay motivated when you are working from home?
Yeah, good question. I think like I I don't know how to stay motivated. It's kind of like a chore almost. Like I mean, it's a good like I could be working in construction, right, or something like that. But like working in VFX is really cool.
Yep.
Already that's the motivation. And then seeing a movie out there, and then like you're on TV, and you're like, oh shit, this is my shot. Oh, I'm gonna have to swear. Sorry, I might not
It's
be
fine.
like.
It's fine. I'm sure no
But
one
it's
heard
like
that.
it's like, oh my god, this is my shot, and then already that's extremely motivating.
Yeah,
Um,
the achievement maybe then. Yeah, thinking about the
yeah,
goal. Yeah, the finish
yeah,
line.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then
I'll,
like
Yeah.
each shot is a goal, you know, like finishing a shot is a goal, and then you go into the next shot and that's a goal, and then you look at your finishing product and you look at before and after your cleanup and you're like, hey, this is motivating. Like it's really
And
cool
do
to.
you share like do you have like goals for like each day, like how many shots you're gonna get done?
Yeah, usually like, so for instance for Ted, this is like I was getting 10 shots done. Like it was that
A day?
was
Yeah.
that was
Wow.
my world record, I reckon, because Ted was a really fun project.
Wow.
But then there's some projects where it can take up to, like, for one shot it can take up to 3 weeks. Like,
Mm.
Wow.
yeah, and then there's like even more intense projects that take months. Like I heard apparently uh that like in King Kong, the Peter Jackson one, there was like they needed rotos for like the hair or something like that, and that took like six
And
months or
he was
something. It was like
hairy.
insane.
That was a
Yeah,
hairy creature.
that
Wow. Yeah.
yeah, that was for like the blonde. I forgot her name, the actress's name, but that, like her hair
Oh.
was waving around, and there was like a light behind her, and they had to get every
Oh.
head of strand. So
Mm.
yeah,
How it's things that you don't even think about, but they're present in these feature films. So it's so
yeah,
cool to be able to shed some light on this role and be able to appreciate it further. I know I'm
yeah.
definitely going to look at movies very, very differently going forward. And I'm so
Mm.
proud of you, Theo. So well done. Um, do we have
We,
another one, Matt?
we do, and this one
Yep.
is a adjacent industry. It's games, but we do have Bryce Taylor asked, is the game development industry in Australia dying out because of the layoffs? So visual effects, obviously there's 3D art and animation. You've got people like Roto Paint artists, compositors, such. You also have a
Mm.
lot of those same skilled people in the games industry. So I'm going to
Mm.
go ahead and answer this one for you, Bryce, which is no, the Australian games industry is actually really, really healthy. Last year it grew about 17%. So in terms of total employment, and the expenditure in terms of the revenue it generated as well grew. I think it was like 20 something percent as well. I think it was 22%, 20 or 20, yeah, around there, low 20s percent. So there have been some layoffs recently, but no, the Australian games industry is looking really strong. IGEA, if you Google them, they've got some awesome data. They're an organisation that takes data on the Australian games industry, and over 50% of the studios were looking to hire this year. So definitely not contracting. It's definitely a growth industry, as well as the Australian tax rebate now for games as well. So the game development tax rebate. So that's going to kick in. That was announced last year and went into effect last year. So definitely industries like games, film, VFX, they're all really, really healthy industries, and they're all hugely government subsidized as well. So there's actually finance around helping young people and helping even mature age people study so they can work in it. And then there's also money being poured into studios to create big projects and to incentivize overseas companies setting up here in Australia, which we've seen a fair bit of and hope to see a lot more of as well. So hope
Go,
that
Matt.
answers your question, Bryce. I might pass over to Theo and Nat, because I believe we've got time for maybe one more question from you, Nat, and then
Yeah. Well, I was gonna just say, is there anything else you wanted to mention that we haven't touched on already, Theo? If you can think of anything, and if
I,
not, maybe we can discuss. Oh, you do. Yep. Go on, Theo.
I've got a lot, but yeah, like if you guys want to like learn how to roto paint, check out Michael North's YouTube videos on YouTube, and I would look up Michael North Paint and Roto tutorial series.
Yep.
I think he's a 2D supervisor now at Boomer, but yeah, he's got a very good series that you can learn roto paint if you're really interested.
Love it. And if you want to get to Theo's level as well, not just the foundational skills, then come to AIE as well. But maybe we can switch over to Matt to take us through our website and we can discuss the next upcoming event too.
alrighty. So bear with me
Yay.
a second here. I believe this is actually the wrong site. Let me just double check. It is. I've just got to refresh this one. Apologies. There we go. That's now loading there.
Yeah.
So, all right, everyone. If you are interested in learning more about how to be a visual effects artist for films, or as we kind of just spoke on, games as well, so 3D animation and visual effects for games, do go to aie.edu.au. Probably a lot of the people watching here tonight have already found this page, but if you go to courses, there's a heap of information about all of our courses here, so you can click our courses, and we have studies for anyone aged 12 and over and at any level as well. So beginner courses are fantastic if you have never really touched an area before, but you just want to do a few days in it just to see what it is like. We then have our certificate courses, or introductory courses they're called, and these are really good for developing those kind of basic fundamentals. These go for roughly 6 to 12 months, and these are essentially used to test out the area to make sure that it's one that you want to pursue as a career. So really good introductory levels, and also there's a fair bit of government subsidy or subsidized courses in there as well, so definitely check them out. But then if you want to get to Theo's level, obviously many years practice, but there are the career courses as well here. So these are 2-year programs or 3-year program, depending on your learning style and what you wish to do. But essentially these ones here are going to prepare you to be industry ready, so then you can go and obtain employment at a place like Framestore, Luma, we've got lots of grads at, but all sorts of visual effects studios around Australia as well. So do check out the courses online there. If you do want to have a look at some of our upcoming events, just click on the events tab. A special one to mention because we've got it on tomorrow, but Information Evening. So this is an awesome event where anyone who is interested can come onto campus, have a little bit of suss of the grounds and facilities, and then our lovely trainers will be going through presentations breaking down what it is you're actually going to be learning at the career course level in each of these areas here. So if anyone is interested in learning 3D animation, visual effects, programming, game design, or filmmaking, do come along to Information Evening. It is free to attend, won't take too much of your time, and you can just click the register to attend button there. If you have any questions for us as well, you can reach out to any of our campuses. You can see them listed there, but if you're just ready and you're eager, you can just click the apply now button and select the courses that you wish. So I might bring us all back on, but that's the website. Thank you so much everyone for joining us tonight. I believe we did get all questions answered, but I'll just quickly check as well. Awesome, cool. So yeah, thank you so much. A big thank you to Theo and a big thank you to Nat as well. Theo and Nat, do either of you have any departing words for our guests?
I'm gonna go rewatch Ted. And I'm gonna say, yep, I met one of the people that worked in these projects. I'm telling all my friends and family, and they're gonna lose their minds. But I'm so grateful that you were able to join us today, Theo. Thank you so much. And we will not be strangers. We'll probably get you up another one, or invite you over to the open days. But all the information you gave us today was incredible.
Awesome. Thank you. Yay. Thanks for having me, guys. I got one more thing to say. Check out Framestore's Launchpad internship. It's an amazing opportunity for anyone who's just graduated. There's some opportunities there. Definitely get onto that. And yeah, and also anyone who's graduated, looking for work, keep on pushing through. Like my teacher said, you will get there eventually. Like if you keep on trying, like just keep on going. Keep on updating your showreel and make it amazing, and you'll get there eventually.
Amazing advice. Yeah. When you keep getting knocked down, you get back up and you keep applying. That's incredible, Theo. Oh, here we go. Launchpad. Yeah, internship. Oh, wow. London, 8 weeks. Melbourne, Montreal, and Vancouver. Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, love it. Definitely apply for it, guys. Anyone that's interested in 3D animation VFX, yay! Yeah. So thank you for that advice as well, Theo.
Yeah, I found that one. You can just Google Framestore Launchpad internship and head there and have a bit of a read. But Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. We hope you enjoyed it tonight. For a lot of you, we hope to see Information Evening tomorrow night, but if you're unable to make it, we do have events each month, so come along to the next one. I believe we've got Industry Experience Day next month as well, so that's where we invite guests to come to campus and actually get hands-on with the software themselves as well. So once again, all the information on the website, but for one last time, Theo, thank you so much, and Nat, thank you so much. Thank you to all our viewers, and we wish you have a good night, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.